Hello, this is how I throw a Frisbee. That's beautiful. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to throw a Frisbee. The backhand throw, the forehand throw, and the hammer throw. The backhand throw is the most basic throw for a Frisbee and is the first throw you think of when you want to throw a Frisbee. Despite it being a simple throw, it is very easy to mess it up, especially when you want to do longer and more powerful throws. So I'm going to show you what should happen when you do a backhand throw with a Frisbee. Keep note that you should do what feels best for you, and I'll try my best to show different variations on how to do the backhand throw. Grip. From what I know, there are 2 ways to hold the Frisbee when doing a backhand throw. The first one is called the pistol grip, where you hold your hand like a pistol and grab the Frisbee. The pinky, ring and middle fingers should be at the bottom of the Frisbee. The index or pointer finger should be around the edge of the Frisbee, and the thumb should be somewhere around the top of the Frisbee. The second type of grip is the more powerful one, but less stable on your hand, and I'm gonna call it the power grip. All the fingers except for the thumb should be at the bottom of the Frisbee, and the thumb should be over the top, around over where the index finger is. Position. Position is something that shouldn't be worried about too much, as it will basically be something that you feel comfortable with, but there are some things that will most likely make throwing the Frisbee easier. You shouldn't have your body facing directly to your target. With this grip, have your body facing a bit to the side, with the side that has your throwing hand closest to the target. Expanding on that bit, your legs are another thing to think about, but it shouldn't be a worry, as you'll automatically find a good position with your legs when you get more comfortable with throwing the Frisbee. Throwing a Frisbee is not just about your arms and how you grab it, but you also have to consider your whole body. Throwing. When throwing a Frisbee, and this goes for all ways of throwing, the most important thing is to flick the wrist. Most of the power from the throw comes from the wrist, not the arm and how fast you swing it. No, guess it can. Usually focusing on your arm swinging can be the reason why you miss your throws or do terrible ones. First, you gotta hold the Frisbee in your hand and kind of curl up your arm towards your body, and then you just straighten out your arm, and when your arm is straight, it should be pointing towards the target, and that's when you let go and flick the wrist. The video will do a way better job at showing this than me explaining it. Now we move on to the forehand throw. The forehand throw is more complicated and harder to do than the backhand throw. This one requires no effort to mess up, and it takes a lot of practice to get this one right. Or it could not. I once taught someone how to throw it this way and they got it within an hour, so yeah. Grip. Grip is a very important factor when it comes to throwing the Frisbee this way. To grab it, you need to have about 3 or 2 fingers if you want, under the Frisbee, and the thumb is over the top. The pinky usually doesn't do anything, but you can try to use it under the Frisbee if you want. The fingers under the Frisbee are as close to the edge as possible, but they shouldn't all be touching the edge. The hardest bit of throwing the Frisbee like this is keeping it straight so you can actually throw it well. It's very obvious that it's hard as soon as you try it, and it will just take practice to get a straight and good throw. Position. Again, positioning shouldn't be a big deal, but the main tip that I'll give is that your body should be facing your target. Throwing. Figuring out the method of the forehand throw is the hardest part of getting this throw right. A very common mistake is letting the entire arm take part in throwing the frisbee. Don't do that. It makes the throw too hard because of all the moving parts in your body. Getting to the actual throwing is actually quite straightforward. You want to keep your upper arm very stiff. It shouldn't move. Bring the elbow to your hips. The only 2 points of articulation should be the internal rotation of your shoulder, moving the forearm left and right, and most importantly, the wrist to flick the frisbee. And then you just do it as the video shows. The way the frisbee comes out of your hand is quite interesting, and I recommend having full eyes on that. Moving on to the hammer throw. The hammer throw is a strange one. Instead of the frisbee going forward, this throw sends the frisbee up and it also turns it upside down. It's very useful when you need to throw it over people and there's some contesting going on in the end zone. This is, of course, an ultimate frisbee. Grip. The grip for the hammer throw is quite similar to the grip of the forehand throw. Fingers underneath the frisbee, a bit close to the edge, and the thumb should be over the top, kind of like a claw. Position. For positioning, you'll need to stand straight and have your body facing directly to the target, or a bit to the side because the throwing might not be comfortable. Throwing. Throwing this one is actually kind of weird. You have to hold the frisbee vertically up near to the side of your face, and you're gonna throw this like you're throwing a ball or doing a tennis serve. It's very weird, and I know that. Despite it looking and feeling very different compared to the other throws, the flick of the wrist is still an important thing to help throw the frisbee correctly. And, well, after the frisbee is at the side of your head, you want to extend your arm and do the flick, and also kind of turn the frisbee at a 45-degree angle. At that point, you would let go of it. Another thing to note is that the frisbee kind of goes up, but not straight up or straight forward. And that's just so you can get some good range in your throw. Alright, that's the end of the video. Hope this helps. Goodbye. And that's the end of this tutorial. I hope this video helps and makes you able to throw a frisbee. With the backhand throw at least. I don't know. Yeah, this part shouldn't be serious. I'm not gonna edit this. Depending if this tutorial ends up actually being good or not, or actually, if it ends up being not good, I will try to make a second revised version of this and see if I can make it better. But that should be everything. I might try to help. I might try to what's it called? Like make people, like get people from my school to try to throw this using this tutorial. This will be one of a few tutorials that I'm gonna be posting, and it's for school passion project, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's all. Goodbye.